I sat motionless in my car for 30 minutes at an office car park in Chicago, staring at $47 in my account while 5 days remained until payday. I was working 60 hours a week, but my entire financial system was completely broken. If you're making $8,000 a month but only have 200 left at month's end, you don't have a money problem. You have a structure problem. Give me exactly 20 minutes to set this up. I'm going to tell you the exact names of the AI tools that will help you completely restructure your entire financial architecture from the ground up. Step by step, no Excel, no nonsense. Step one starts right now. Before we fix anything, you need to understand exactly how broken your situation actually is. This isn't judgment, this is clarity. The Federal Reserve released a comprehensive report showing that American credit card debt just hit an all-time record of $1.13 trillion. That's not a million. That's not a billion. That's a trillion with a capital T. That number is larger than the entire GDP of most countries on Earth. To put this in perspective, the American population is approximately 330 million people. That means the average American carries roughly $3,400 in credit card debt alone. That's not including car loans. That's not including mortgages. That's just credit card debt. But here's where it gets darker. Research from C+R Research revealed something that should honestly shock you. 42% of Americans are still paying for subscription services they no longer use. 42%. That's nearly half the country bleeding money every single month for Netflix accounts they forgot about, gym memberships they never use, software subscriptions they canceled, but never actually stopped charging their card. Think about that number. 4 out of every 10 people you know are paying for things they don't want or need. They're just not paying attention. The charges are small enough to slip under the radar. $10 here, $15 there, $50 somewhere else. Over time, these invisible charges compound. The average person is wasting between $40 and $80 monthly on forgotten subscriptions. Over a year, that's between $500 and $960. Over a decade, that's $5,000 to $10,000 in pure waste. This is the bleeding we need to stop first. Before we build anything, before we invest anything, before we do anything else, we have to stop the hemorrhaging. John D. Rockefeller, who became the wealthiest man in human history, built his fortune not through one brilliant investment, but through meticulous attention to detail. He said something critical that applies directly to your situation. Take care of the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves. He also said, a small leak will sink a great ship. That's exactly what's happening to your finances right now. You're not drowning because of one big expense. You're drowning because of 1,000 small leaks. Your subscription to that app you used twice. Your streaming service you forgot you had. Your insurance that's too expensive. Your phone bill that's higher than it needs to be. Your gym membership from 2019 that you haven't visited since 2020. All of these are small, individually insignificant, but collectively they're destroying your financial foundation. Here's the specific action that starts right now. Download Rocket Money. This is an AI financial application that connects directly to your bank account through Plaid, which is a military-grade security protocol used by major financial institutions worldwide. Plaid has been operating since 2012 and now powers connections for over 12,000 applications globally. Rocket Money uses artificial intelligence to scan your entire banking history for the past 12 months and identify what it calls ghost expenses. These are recurring charges you've forgotten about or stopped using but are still active on your account. The process is simple. You download the app. You connect your bank account through Plaid's secure connection. The AI immediately starts analyzing your transaction history. Within minutes, it presents you with a comprehensive list of every single recurring charge on your account. Once you've installed Rocket Money and let it scan your accounts, activate the Recurring Expenses feature. The AI will automatically compile a list of every subscription, every recurring charge, every automatic payment happening on your account. You'll see them all in one place. No more mystery charges. No more wondering where your money went. The visualization is eye-opening. Most people see their list and immediately recognize at least 3 or 4 subscriptions they completely forgot about. Some people find 10 or more. Here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Rocket Money has a feature called Bill Negotiation. The AI doesn't ask you to negotiate. It doesn't send you a guide on how to negotiate. It does the negotiating automatically. It contacts companies like AT&T, Verizon, Cox, Comcast, and dozens of other service providers and negotiates lower rates on your behalf. How does this work? The AI has access to data about what these companies are currently offering to new customers. It knows what promotional rates are available. It knows what competitor pricing is. It uses this data to automatically request rate reductions with your service providers. The result is impressive. Studies from Rocket Money's own data show that their AI negotiation typically reduces bills by 20 to 30%. That's not a typo. 20 to 30% reduction without you making a single phone call. Let me give you concrete examples. If you're paying $200 monthly for internet service, Rocket Money might negotiate that down to $140 to $160. That's $40 to $60 monthly saved. Over a year, that's between $500 and $700 that you keep instead of paying to a corporation. If you're paying $60 monthly for streaming services spread across multiple platforms, the AI might consolidate and negotiate that down to $45. That's $15 monthly or $180 annually. If you're paying $100 monthly for phone service, the AI might negotiate that down to $70 to $80. That's $20 to $30 monthly. These aren't speculative numbers. These are actual results from real Rocket Money users. The platform has 10 million users and has identified and recovered over $40 billion in annual savings across its user base. The average person using Rocket Money recovers between $300 and $500 monthly in ghost expenses and negotiated savings. $300 to $500 that you didn't even know you were losing. That's money that's been draining from your account every single month while you thought you were helpless to stop it. Think about what that means for your life. $300 monthly is $3,600 annually. $500 monthly is $6,000 annually. That's real money. That's money that could change your life. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to work harder to get this money. You don't have to negotiate. You don't have to make phone calls. You don't have to hire a financial advisor. The AI does all of it. Step 1 is literally 5 minutes. Download Rocket Money. Connect your bank account. Let it scan. Authorize the bill negotiation. That's it. 5 minutes of work. $3,000 to $6,000 recovered annually. Now we use that recovered money to build an actual wealth-generating system. This is where everything changes fundamentally. The SPIVA report, published by S&P Indices, tracks active fund performance against passive indices. Their most recent comprehensive analysis found that 94.5% of actively managed mutual funds failed to outperform the S&P 500 index over the past 20 years. Let that number sink in, 94.5%. That means only 5.5% of professional fund managers actually beat the market. Those are the odds. Those are worse odds than playing blackjack in Las Vegas. Professional fund managers have advanced degrees. They have decades of experience. They have teams of analysts. They have access to Bloomberg terminals that cost $20,000 annually just for the information. They have resources that individual investors could never dream of accessing. And 94.5% of them still fail to beat a simple index that anyone can buy. Think about what this means. If 94.5% of professional fund managers are failing to beat the market, why would you try to pick stocks yourself? Why would you spend hours researching companies, analyzing financial statements, trying to predict which stocks will go up? The math says you'll fail. The historical data says you'll fail. The SPIVA report says you'll fail. Warren Buffett, widely considered the greatest investor in modern history, made an explicit instruction in his will. He directed his estate trustees to place 90% of his wife's inheritance into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Not in his personal stock picks, not in actively managed funds. In a simple index fund that costs almost nothing to own. Buffett wrote in his 2021 shareholder letter that index funds represent the best course of action for the vast majority of investors. This from the man who made billions through active stock picking. This from the man who spent his entire career analyzing companies and picking winners. He's essentially saying, don't do what I do. Do this instead. If Warren Buffett recommends index funds, isn't that the strongest possible endorsement? Here's the specific action for step 2. Open an account at Wealthfront or Betterment. Both are Robo-Advisors, which is the financial term for AI-powered investment platforms. These platforms use artificial intelligence to manage your money based on scientific principles rather than human intuition. Wealthfront was founded in 2008. Betterment was founded in 2010. They've both been operating for more than 15 years. They're not new or untested. Wealthfront manages over $50 billion globally. Betterment manages approximately $30 billion. These are not fringe platforms. These are major financial institutions. Both platforms are registered with the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, the government body that oversees investment advisors. They're regulated, they're audited, they're legitimate. When you open an account at Wealthfront, the platform asks you a series of questions about your risk tolerance, your time horizon, and your financial goals. The AI uses your answers to construct a diversified portfolio tailored to your specific situation. Wealthfront's algorithm is based on modern portfolio theory. This is the theoretical framework that won a Nobel Prize in economics. Harry Markowitz won the Nobel Prize in 1990 for developing this theory. The theory demonstrates mathematically that the best investment strategy combines assets that don't move together in the same direction. What does that mean practically? If stocks go down, bonds might go up. If U.S. stocks go down, international stocks might stay stable. If large companies underperform, small companies might outperform. By combining assets that move differently, you reduce overall portfolio volatility while maintaining expected returns. The AI then allocates your money across multiple funds. You might get allocations to VO, which is Vanguard's S&P 500 Index Fund. You might get allocations to VEA, which is Vanguard's International Stock Fund covering companies in developed markets outside America. You might get allocations to VWO, which is Vanguard's Emerging Markets Fund covering companies in developing nations. You might get allocations to BND, which is Vanguard's bond fund giving you fixed income exposure. The exact allocation depends on your risk profile. If you're young, the AI might allocate 90% stocks and 10% bonds because you have time to recover from market crashes. If you're older, the AI might allocate 60% stocks and 40% bonds because you have less time to recover. The concept is identical, though. Instead of trying to pick winning stocks, instead of trying to beat the market, you own thousands of companies across multiple countries, multiple sectors, multiple asset classes. You're not betting on any one company. You're not betting on any one country. You're betting on the broad global economy. You don't need to be good at finance. You don't need to understand valuation metrics or technical analysis or any of that stuff. The AI handles everything based on mathematical logic derived from Nobel Prize-winning economic theory, not emotion. Now here's the critical part. Set up AutoDipples. This is an automated recurring transfer. You tell Wealthfront or Betterment to automatically transfer a specific amount of money every time your paycheck hits or every month on a specific date. You can start small. You can set it to transfer the $300 to $500 you just recovered through step 1. You don't have to remember. You don't have to decide. The money moves automatically. On the first of the month, boom, $500 automatically transfers from your checking account to your investment account and immediately gets invested according to your allocation. This is huge. This is the foundational principle of wealth building that most people completely miss. You've just recovered $300 to $500 monthly through step 1. Now you're automatically investing that recovered money before you even see it in your account. You can't spend what you never see. This is exactly what Buffett did throughout his entire career. He didn't get rich by being good at picking stocks. He got rich by investing consistently through market cycles. He bought when markets were down and everyone was panicking. He kept buying when markets were up and everyone was excited. He never stopped the process. During the 2008 financial crisis, when the market crashed 50% and everyone was terrified, Buffett kept buying. During the 2020 pandemic crash, when stocks dropped 30% in weeks, Buffett kept buying. During normal market years, when stocks rose 10%, Buffett kept buying. You're using the exact same approach, just with AI handling all the decisions. The AI rebalances your portfolio. The AI monitors your allocation. The AI reinvests your dividends. All you do is set up the automatic deposit and then forget about it. Now we protect everything you're building from the two biggest threats, taxes and market crashes. Vanguard released extensive research showing that automatic portfolio rebalancing increases returns by approximately 1.5% annually while significantly reducing risk during market downturns. That might not sound like much. 1.5% is a small number, but over 30 years with 8% average returns, an extra 1.5% annually compounds into dramatically more wealth. Let me calculate this for you. If you invest $100,000 and get 8% returns over 30 years without rebalancing, you end up with $1.06 million. If you get 8% returns with 1.5% of additional benefit from rebalancing, you end up with $1.38 million. That's an extra $320,000 from just letting the AI rebalance your portfolio automatically. Here's the problem most people face. Markets don't go up in a straight line. In some years, stocks rise 30%. In other years, bonds rise 12%. In still other years, real estate outperforms. Over time, your carefully balanced portfolio becomes unbalanced. If you started with 50% stocks and 50% bonds, after a year where stocks rise 30% and bonds rise 5%, you now have roughly 56% stocks and 44% bonds. Your allocation drifted. Left unchecked, this drift means you're taking more risk than you intended. You're overweight in stocks right when they're expensive, right before they crash. You've accidentally tilted your portfolio toward whatever performed best recently, which historically is exactly the wrong thing to do. The AI solves this problem automatically. Wealthfront's automatic rebalancing feature monitors your portfolio continuously. Every single day, the AI calculates your current allocation. When allocations drift more than a small threshold, usually around 5%, the system automatically sells some of the winners and buys more of the losers. This forces you to do the hardest thing in investing: sell high and buy low. Most people do the opposite. They get excited when stocks are rising and buy more. They panic when stocks are falling and sell. They buy at the peak and sell at the bottom. That's the recipe for permanent wealth destruction. The AI does it mechanically based on mathematics. No emotion involved, no second guessing, no FOMO, no fear, just pure mathematical logic. But there's something even more powerful called tax loss harvesting. This is a strategy used by hedge funds managing billions of dollars for ultra-wealthy clients. This is something that usually costs thousands of dollars annually to hire a professional to implement. Here's how it works. During the year, some of your investments will be down slightly. They're not deeply underwater, but they're down a few percentage points. Tax loss harvesting automatically sells those losing positions, locking in the loss. You then immediately buy a nearly identical investment so you maintain your portfolio allocation. From an investment perspective, nothing has changed. You still have the same exposure. You still own the same types of assets. Your portfolio looks and functions identically. But from a tax perspective, everything has changed. You just locked in a loss on your taxes. That loss can be used to offset capital gains or even ordinary income on your tax return. This reduces the amount of taxes you owe at the end of the year. The government allows this. It's completely legal. It's not a loophole. It's a formal feature of the tax code. Wealthy investors have been using this strategy for decades. The only difference is that now AI automates it instead of requiring you to hire an expensive accountant. Wealthfront's research shows this feature adds an average of 1.55% to after-tax returns annually. That's not theoretical. That's actual measured data from real customer accounts. They've analyzed thousands of accounts and measured the actual tax benefit. 1.55% might sound small, but let's calculate it. If you're investing $500 monthly automatically, that's $6,000 annually. Over 30 years, you're contributing $180,000. With 8% returns, that grows to $570,000. Now add the 1.55% from tax loss harvesting. Over 30 years, that 1.55% compounds to an extra $90,000. That's $90,000 in additional wealth from letting the AI automatically harvest tax losses. Think about what this means. You're recovering $300 to $500 monthly through bill negotiation in Step 1. You're automatically investing that in Step 2. And now you're adding an extra 1.5% to 1.55% to your returns through sophisticated tax optimization in Step 3. The AI is doing the work of expensive professionals for free because the platform's business model is to manage your money and make a small fee on assets under management. Let me summarize what just happened in these 20 minutes. Step 1. You installed Rocket Money. The AI identified $300 to $500 monthly in recoverable expenses and ghost subscriptions. That's $3,600 to $6,000 annually. This is money you were already losing. Now you're keeping it. Step 2. You opened Wealthfront or Betterment and set up automatic deposits. That $300 to $500 you recovered is now automatically invested every single month into a diversified portfolio managed by AI based on Nobel Prize-winning economic theory. This money is now working for you instead of disappearing into corporate pockets. Step 3. You activated automatic rebalancing and tax loss harvesting. Your portfolio is now being optimized 24/7 to reduce taxes and maintain proper risk allocation. The AI is doing what hedge funds pay thousands of dollars annually for professionals to do. Let's calculate what this actually means over time. Year 1, you recover and invest $3,600 minimum. That grows at roughly 8%, so you have $3,888 at year's end. You've recovered more than you contributed. Year 2, you've now recovered $7,200. With the previous year's balance growing and the new contributions invested, you have approximately $9,600. Year 5, you've recovered $36,000 in contributions from eliminating ghost expenses. Add in tax optimization benefits. Your total balance is approaching $75,000. Year 10, you've recovered $72,000 in contributions. With compound growth at 8% plus the benefit of automatic rebalancing and tax loss harvesting, your balance approaches $250,000. That's not a projection. That's compound mathematics applied to a $300 monthly contribution. That's the power of stopping the bleeding and then systematically investing. Most people think wealth building requires either a high income or a long time. The truth is that wealth building requires consistent action applied over time. You don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need an MBA. You just need to start. The financial restructuring we just did doesn't require you to work harder. It doesn't require you to earn more. It doesn't require you to cut back on coffee or stop eating out. It requires you to stop losing money to hidden charges and start letting AI manage what you have. This is genuine freedom. Not freedom to buy a Lamborghini, freedom to take care of your family. Freedom to sleep at night without anxiety about money. Freedom to actually show up for the moments that matter. The tools I mentioned are real. Rocket Money is a real application with 10 million users. Wealthfront is a real platform managing $50 billion. Betterment is a real platform managing $30 billion. The data from the Federal Reserve, SPIVA, Vanguard, and Nobel Prize-winning economists is real and verified. I'm telling you exact names because I want you to understand this is actionable today. Right now. Not someday. Not when you have more time. Today. Type Restructure in the comments if you're ready to do this. Not as a joke. As a commitment to yourself. Because the moment you publicly commit, your brain shifts from curiosity to action. I read every comment. I respond to people who follow through. Your financial future starts in the next 5 minutes. Rocket Money first. 5 minutes to recover $3,000 to $6,000 annually. Wealthfront second. 10 minutes to build your automated wealth machine. Tax optimization third. 5 minutes to set up the protection that maximizes what you keep. 20 minutes total. That's all it takes to completely restructure your financial life. You've got this.